So what's going on? The big, beautiful bullshit bill.
It ain't going on.
Bootylicious.
That's the problem.
Bootylicious.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah,
they have some good things in there.
They got 5 nays and 8 people that didn't vote yet. It's 207 and 217, so it ain't looking good yet unless they can turn them around. But they're leaving it open.
Yeah, I like the no tax on tips, no tax on overtime, no tax for Social Security, and I think they're also throwing in not having to pay a federal tax stamp for suppressors and changes in potential. They also want to. Well, I don't know if the. I think they wanted to put the stuff in there for the NFA related stuff, National Firearms Act, like suppressors and shit and tax stamps.
I thought they took
trying to-
that out.
They probably did. I think they're trying to do that in something else. I think they want to, because I think yesterday they're voting on that to go through separately with something else, or I don't have all the details, but and then well, the big controversial one's the Medicaid cuts. A lot of it. So I guess from when Clinton was in office, what they had is for the SNAP, the food stamp benefits and all of that, or whatever in the Medicaid stuff is the thing that's controversial. Is so they want to make a lot of cuts to Medicaid because there's a lot of people out there that aren't willing to try and find a job that are, able-bodied and such, I guess, allegedly. So they want to get rid of like a lot of the waste, fraud, and abuse. So like to incentivize people, okay, if you're going to be on this, it's a temporary thing, unless, obviously something's like really wrong with you and, there's safety nets and such, et cetera, supposed to be. But they want to incentivize people that are temporarily on it to try and find work to get back into the workforce,
Right.
essentially, and not
Bodied adults without dependents.
But I also heard that they're trying to get rid of it for illegal immigrants, which they should.
Yeah, no shit.
1.7 million who are getting help. That's crazy, right?
That's fucking absolutely ridiculous.
So if they know that these people are, they should use that 1.7 million list and go after them and deport them.
No shit. No shit.
That's the list right there. And
I'm sure that's what they're doing.
And guaranteed they're going to capture more of them. And there's no specific race being targeted. It's it doesn't matter.
It's against federal law to illegally immigrate into the United States.
Well, they're giving them a chance to turn themselves in and go back. Then they might have a chance of coming back, because if they get picked up and they're arrested, they ain't going to get back.
I think Kathy is it Holcomb? Kathy Holcomb?
Yeah, the New York governor.
No, never.
What are you talking about? Who?
No, disregard him. Who's
Nome? You talk about Nome?
Kristi Noem. Kristi Noem, yeah.
Holcomb,
so
an idiot.
Immigration Barbie.
How can you get them? I don't know how you get them two mixed up. The way fucking Kristi Noem looks in Holcomb is totally 150% opposite.
I'm tired. Fuck off.
I know.
But anyway,
I'm only breaking your balls.
No, but Kristi Noem and Trump, they each have different proposals for that to incentivize. One of them, I don't know if it went through. I know Trump wanted to give basically each illegal $1,000 to self-deport.
Right.
And then Kristi Noem was talking about, if you come forward and you allow us to apprehend and deport you, we will give you the like amnesty. We will give you the opportunity in the future to apply legally to immigrate into the state.
She said you may be able to come back. May. She didn't tell they're gonna. She said you may be able to come back.
Correct, because there's also people, rapists, murderers, all
criminals.
of those.
Yeah.
She's not making any promises.
I mean, I mean, they're all criminals, but it's
Right.
it's a matter of the ones that are like
She's
super
not
super
making any
duper.
promises. That's all.
Yeah, she's that program would be set up for people that
Yeah, it's going to have
out
stipulations to it. Right.
there would be stipulations as
Right.
outside of illegally immigrating,
Yeah.
everything else. If they have a relatively
if they can
clean,
pass the requirements that are made.
Pass. No
a
crimes
relative
committed, nothing like that.
Right.
outside of
Yeah.
correct. But any of
besides
the other
besides being here illegally, it's
that's exactly outside of the the murderers, the rapists, the ones that are in that. That's what she's saying is you may have that.
Option.
But yeah, we're
Right.
going around in circles. But
I know.
anyways,
Okay.
yeah. So there's those two proposals, but so like the thing that's I guess because there's a lot of stuff in the media now, a lot of lies and misquotes and just propaganda and whatever. It's like some of the controversies with the Medicaid thing. They're saying that the Republicans are trying to cut Medicaid for people like that are really in need and really need it, like people that would typically fall into a safety net. And from what I'm seeing, from what it appears to be on the bill, that's not true. It's for people taking advantage of the system, essentially, that can go back into the workforce.
and they're not
But
talking about kids. They're talking about able, willing adults without dependents. So kids are
okay,
safe. Yeah. But you're
right.
right. It's the kids
Well,
that
anyway,
yeah.
I'm looking at the. It looks like the chamber's almost cleaned out, and it's almost about 20 or 1 in the morning over there. So it don't look like anybody's still left. About 8 people. So where do they go? They go get chow, or they take off?
And they went to go take a shit.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
all of them?
they go back to their offices, right? They all just go back.
So and just so at the time now that we're recording on the 2nd of July of 2025, this is a test vote. It's a test vote. That's it.
Right.
I believe this is what they call the rules, right?
Yeah, it very well may be. We would have to. I'd have to. You might want to Google that.
Yeah, I don't think this is the actual bill being voted
they said it was a
yay or
test
No,
nay.
it's a
vote.
test. It's a test. It's a test. So what they'll have to do is there's what they call the whip. So typically, like if I remember correctly, in the House and the Senate, the whip, that person's job is to go out there to the individuals that are saying no.
You mean
and to
like
try
this? Da-da-da-da-da. Whip it good. Da-da-da-da-da. Da-da. Whip it good. All right, go ahead.
Just like
and the
that.
base good enough for government work. But so it's basically their job to go to the either the ones that are saying nay or the maybes and to try and incentivize support from them. Okay, if you vote for this, what can we do to help you get something passed in the future? Scratch my back, I'll scratch yours. Like the guy that tries to basically negotiate with the politicians to drum up
Quid pro
support,
quo.
essentially.
Yeah, absolutely. They're trying to get
You speak Latin.
Who is this guy, Joe Schmo?
I'm just a bill down on Capitol Hill.
they need to figure this out because
That's because I'm over there. Tell him, Jake. Tell him what Trump would say. I'm talking to them all for the best beautiful bill.
This bill, it's beautiful. I seen this bill and I was like, wow.
This is beautiful.
They need to stop all these mega bills and start passing bills on single issue bills. How many?
It's an omnibus, like what, 900 pages?
Yeah, this is crazy. You know what? A single issue bills would pass. So much work would get done. They might have more, but so much work would be done. It's insane.
But the thing I don't get, it was already passed in the House. It was passed in the Senate. So why is it back in the House? I don't get it.
That's what confuses me.
Yeah, me too. I thought it was over. All of a sudden now it's back up again. How does that work?
And then so like the other things that are like controversial about it, they I guess there's a lot of federal spending in there, and there's staunch Republicans that don't want to add more to the crippling debt. Um, that's the big thing that, like, for instance, Rand Paul and I forgot the other gentleman. Is it
Massey.
Mike? Yeah, Massey. Those two are very adamant on that. My whole thing, the way I kind of look at it, and I don't blame them for being that way, but like at the same time, like I see a lot of good things in this bill, and I want to see about getting those things passed first, and then let's draft a new bill, with that will basically uh address those said issues. um, I think there's a lot of like I'm looking at the pros and the cons of this, and to me personally, it feels like there's a lot more pros than cons. Let's get this through first, and then let's get on to the next item of business of addressing all of that crippling debt, because there is also supposed to be a lot of federal cuts in government spending in the bill too, to a lot of agencies. Um,
Yeah,
in
and then the
in
other one is
certain
Collins, but she's just an
in certain
asshole.
there yeah there there are supposed to be certain cuts to federal spending and certain government programs in this bill already. There's some other things that they're concerned about that will increase the debt. So I would say right now, personally, let's get this through, let's get the bill passed, and then let's go on to the next item of business, and then have fuck if they want to lead the charge, and have them draft a bill since they're so adamant about it. Go from there. That's my whole thing about it.
There's some things in there for, like, what is it? The tax relief?
Oh, no,
I
I didn't hear
believe
that one.
so. I've been hearing. I don't know if it's true. I seen it on C-SPAN the other day. It was the Democrat from California. His name's Takano. He's on the Veterans Committee. Um, so like for anybody that's not 100% disabled and below, so like people that are, let's say for all intents and purposes, if you're 100% disabled and all of that, those veterans will be protected. But anybody lesser than that, veterans can potentially see Medicaid uh, cuts, I guess. But that one kind of confuses me, because whether you're 80, 95, 80% or fucking 90% disabled, you still have, VA healthcare. So that what he's saying, I don't know if it's incorrect, but it did confuse me a little bit when he brought that up yesterday.
I'm gonna look it up.
Too much downtime.
Wow.
They have a lot of downtime, and you know what?
You'll have
go out for a big
Medicaid if
vacation.
you pay Part A and B. You're gonna have Medicaid, whatever. You don't even need it. A lot of people don't need it. But either way,
and that's usually when you're at 65, right?
Yeah, for seniors, like social. But like, don't, just like Social Security with FICA, don't, as younger adults in the workforce, don't we pay into the Medicaid system when we're younger, so that
yeah, you're paying it like Social Security. But listen, if we don't know about it, let's not talk about it, because it's just wasting time. All right, we don't really know what's going on with it, so we shouldn't be saying nothing about it. So I'll talk about a different subject. My opinion.
No, you're right.
You know what I mean? No, really, we're just gonna spin our wheels here. We don't really know what we're talking about, so let's not cover it. And then maybe go investigate it later. Come back in a different podcast and talk about it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But
well, anyway, we're off this subject.
Anyways,
let's go to how about what happened in Iran? Even though it was a while ago, what about that? Hello, this is Russ from American Bald Eagle. We'd like to tell you folks about some establishments that we frequent that do a pretty good job. Let's start off with Henderson Harley Davidson at 1010 West Orange Springs Road in Henderson, Nevada. Zip code is 89014. Phone number is 702-456-1666 for all your new and used Harley Davidson needs. And then they have a great service department. They also have a lot of Harley Davidson memorabilia, clothing. Really like this place. They got a great service department, real friendly salesmen. The whole place is great down there. They all do a real good job. And you stop in for a cup of coffee and or a cup of tea or hot chocolate or something. Anyway, we also got Joey's New York Pizza, 11165 Southeastern Avenue in Henderson, Nevada. Zip code is 89052. Phone number is 702-566-1500. They got calzones. They got desserts of cannolis, tiramisu. Anyway, say hello to Joey and Crystal when you go down there. They do a real good job. You'll really like it. Okay, we also have the Leatherneck Club of Las Vegas at 4360 West Spring Mountain Road in Las Vegas, Nevada. Zip code is 89102. Phone number 702-368-1775. And they also have award-winning hamburgers down there. They do a real good job. I'll tell you, you get your money's worth down there. They also have a lot of different side orders and things like that. They also have a small museum from all the war memorabilia from World War I up to the present time. Anyway, I'm sure you'll enjoy yourself down at the Leatherneck Club of Las Vegas. And then we also have Straight Up from Philly Stakeout in 1659 West Spring Mountain and Rio Grande Road in Nevada. 890. Phone number is 702-463-8300. They have all the steak subs out of Philly, steak and cheese. They also have a drive-in. You can go to a drive-in or you can go inside. They have all the different subs in there. They do a real good job. Say hello to them out there. Okay, that's it for now.
Just hold on a minute. But anyway, so we'll.
I don't want to get into Medicaid, Jake. We don't know what we're talking about.
No, I'm not talking about the medicine. But anyway, so like, I guess that's the situation with the big beautiful bill. They're trying to figure out who's going to support it and who ain't, and
that's what it's always about.
We'll see if it goes through or not. Everybody's. We all have our opinions about the bill, and I guess only time will tell. So whatever. Right. Yeah. So as of late, the United States and Israel decided to destroy Iran's nuclear facilities, their nuclear program. Israel originally preemptively striked because they felt it was a threat to their national security and actually also ours, especially on the West Coast of the United States, would be susceptible to nuclear attacks over the Pacific. But so they started with Operation, what was it? Operation Roaring Lion? Raging Lion?
I don't know. Something lion.
Eric, can you look up the operation name?
It is Operation Rising Lion.
Rising Lion, that was it. And then in the middle of it, the United States came in and we did Operation Midnight Hammer and finished off the facilities with the bunker buster with the B-2 bombers. What was it? The Fordow facility?
Yes. Fordo, and there was three strikes on to Fordo. And
one begins with an N, and N is something else.
Natansk.
Yes.
But sorry, go ahead, Eric.
No, I was just listening. It was Fordo, Natanz, and the Isfahan And I guess they dropped, what is it, the GBU-57 massive ordnance penetrator bombs.
Yeah,
That was the main ones.
They started developing. I found out the other week that that specific bunker buster was specifically designed to penetrate into Fordow. They've been developing it, I think, for over a decade now.
15 years.
Yep, that was specifically designed to penetrate it, and it did so successfully.
That was a crazy story about those two. What is it? I don't know what agency it was some type of security agency. Their job to watch it for 15 years, and that's what they did. These two guys watched it.
Well, they were working on the program to bring it to fruition. That's what happened, yeah.
Was it Mossad?
I don't think it was Mossad. I think they were Americans.
They were American officers or whatever. They were doing it.
Oh, okay.
They had a whole team working on it.
And the only aircraft in the world that could actually deploy the bomb was the B-2 stealth bomber.
Right.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So they dropped 12 of them, I guess.
But Russ and Eric, I guess I can talk about with the way the operation originally started and the brilliance of both the United States and the Israeli attacks. You want to get into that, like the generals, the scientists, and all of that?
Well, we're here. Well, so it started on the 1st of June. So every day it escalated a little bit more. You guys saw it. The rocks would come in, but I think it was pretty clear that they started depleting all of their stockpile. All their munitions were gone. Well, not necessarily gone, but maybe their munitions weren't gone, but the ability to diminished, where they could only launch 10 or 15 at one time towards like the 8th.
Yeah, Israel did a hell of a job on them.
They did, and I got caught off guard. I know we were always talking about and how they knew. We all knew they're supposed to do it, but when they actually did it. But what surprised me the most is how little Iran reacted and how fast Israel took advantage of their skies and had air superiority. That's what was crazy to me.
And then there was submarines offshore that hit it with friggin' cruise missiles. Besides those bombs,
those were our submarines.
They were Navy ships. They were Navy ships.
They were ships and submarines. We launched Tomahawk cruise missiles.
Right
at the end.
So I guess coordinated pretty good, if you ask me.
So I know we talked about it when we were saying that Trump was giving out like misinformation and stuff like that, but I fell for it. I did.
No, listen, I don't think it was misinformation. He just didn't give them the information because he just said, oh, you got between now and 2 weeks. And then he don't give his game plan out. That's a smart operator, because once you let somebody know something, they have a chance to prepare for it. He made them think that nothing was going to happen to a certain time, and then look what happened, right?
Yeah.
Caught him off guard, killed a lot of people.
Yeah,
too.
he was like, I'm going to give him 2 weeks, and he pretty much tricked everybody. We all, we thought he said, I'm going to give him up
to 2 weeks.
But he ended up, it was like, what, not even fucking like 2-3 days later?
Yeah,
just
whatever,
all of us. Well,
they had 60 days. They had 60 days, and they kept on saying, we ain't dealing death to the United States and Israel, so they did it to themselves.
And now we're in the middle of the ceasefires stuff. It keeps going on and off, on and off.
Well, the last thing I just heard, the last thing I heard today, they're going to be negotiating for the ceasefire for 60 days now with Israel. Right, they're going to be writing up a program with Trump. Israel is.
And as of now, I also, I think it was last night. There was a military commentator. His name's Macbeth. He's an Army veteran in the U.S., but he does a lot of security, IT, all of that stuff. I guess he goes on Newsmax sometimes as an analyst, and he brought up that. So there was a video in the daytime of something blowing up. You couldn't see fighter jets or anything. It was in, I think, Tehran. It was in Tehran. And Tehran, whatever. the observation he made is because mostly the Israeli jets were flying around at nighttime where it was hard to get eyes and stuff. But now with the air superiority, they basically have air supremacy now, where they are flying around in the daytime now, and there's hundreds of jets out there now in the daytime operations. So that clearly shows a confidence from Israel's Air Force of the knocking down of many critical anti-aircraft systems from the Iranian military.
Yeah, I think they actually hit they did an assassination a couple days ago. I think it was type of high-rise building out there. They have video of it,
That
and
was it was the day it was the daytime. Yeah.
yeah, that was so it's still going on. They're not taking credit for it, but we all know that it's them doing it. It's either them or us.
Yeah, and even and for a long time, and what happened was, especially in the beginning and the middle, Israel had originally they scrambled dozens of jets, fighter jets, into Iranian airspace, and what you call it. Now a lot of it was at nighttime, but now it's to the point where they're flying around even in daytime. I mean, they're like there's not satellites, but like their radars. Iran's radar and surface to air. A lot of those systems have been just pretty much eliminated. The commanders, the scientists.
That was a
Um,
smart move, getting rid of a lot of them scientists
So
too.
yeah, it was
That was
loved
real
it.
smart. The other thing is that's sad. Now, realistically, well, that's my opinion. Now they should start revolution and uprising now and take that damn government back, because the Iranian people, they want it to be free like everybody else is. They don't want this stuff. So they should uprise and take over them people, because that friggin Khamenei, them people that are running the shit now, they got to get rid of them so those people can live in peace. But I don't know if they're going to do it. You don't hear any talk about it.
I
they
think
You don't
they're
they
hear them
blew,
afraid.
trying to, huh?
yeah
Afraid.
I know,
they
but geez, now's the time. Now's the time.
they blew up. What was it? They blew up the Iranian. What was it? One of the military headquarters.
Right.
Um, and then what you call it? Trying to remember, but anyways.
Well, I'm guessing a lot of these upper generals that got killed, they were living in friggin' big mansions and stuff like that. Israel knew just where to find them. Israel got a lot of eyes on the ground. That's what's good about it. They got a real good spy system, so that's how they eliminated a lot of these people. They knew where everybody was already.
They were
Yeah.
able to target these
Yeah.
bad actors like very surgically
Right.
too.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, they did a good job. But the Iranian people got to start uprising now and try to get this country back, because they can't let it go back to that stuff,
Well, wasn't it that Iran was kind of like the
Yeah.
paradise of the Middle East? People loved being there. There are beautiful women walking
Yeah.
around.
Back
It
in
was
'79 is when these
yeah,
guys took over. Before that, it was just like it was freedom. The women didn't have to get all covered up and all that. And then
and the
they come
reason
in
why
'79 and they've been doing this shit since, you know?
when they overtook
The Shah.
the Shah of
Right.
Iran, right?
Right.
Um,
Yeah,
what was it?
the
Yeah.
no, sorry, what?
No, no, no. You're right. Go ahead.
Yeah, the what you call it?
But
Yeah, so
anyway, I like
like
to see it change.
yeah.
For their sake, I wish it would change.
Yeah, because
Because, yeah,
Trump's he's sick of it from both sides. Like when he first brokered the ceasefire, um, I guess there were some delayed rockets that were shot from Iran and hit Israel, and then Israel obviously retaliated, and then Trump got pissed off, was like, "These guys don't know what the fuck they're doing. They've been fighting for ages," and he want I guess his he wants to see everybody peaceful and like prosperous and and free and better off like you know internationally speaking. He's not a he's a peace through strength administration. He definitely is not a fan of war. He can't stand seeing it appears he doesn't what you call it. He doesn't like to see people dying and all the fucking bloodshed. Even with like Ukraine and Russia, you know, he's sick and tired of it, and he's trying to broker peace deals because it's not getting anybody anywhere. It's just a big fucking mess.
Yeah.
It's a crazy world.
So do you guys think did you guys watch a lot of the intercepts, like from the air defense from the THAAD unit and the Patriots?
I seen like on the news a lot of just the stuff of broadcasts on the news. I didn't get like too much into that stuff, but yeah, go ahead, Eric.
Yeah, no, I was gonna say, you know what? So this is when Trump is talking about having a new system here. I think what's it called? The Golden Dome, the
And
missile defense.
that's also supposed to be in the bill, the big beautiful bill.
That's right. So if this bill don't go through, that doesn't go through. All right, go ahead, finish up, Eric.
No, yeah, no, that's what it is. It's it was pretty amazing. I guess this time in Israel since what October 7th, it was the only time when like a lot of our Patriots and our THAAD missiles actually had to do their jobs. The air
Right.
army.
Right.
And I saw a video that was on U.S. Army What the Fuck moments,
Oh
and
yeah.
I did. It was from a group of soldiers in Al Udeid Air Base in Qatar, and these soldiers were just happy. They were cheering and they were doing everything. First time they've ever had to do their job. It's
Right.
and
Yeah, the one thing that's crazy too, you guys, both of you guys and Jesse, both got out. All three of you got out of there. You guys are all out of there now. It's good that you guys got out, but because those places they were hitting or were going to hit, whatever, were everywhere where you guys were. So I was saying, wow, I'm glad that you guys were 2 years, 3 years ahead of not being there, because that's exactly what happened. They hit Bahrain. They're going to hit friggin' Qatar. They're going to hit friggin' everywhere over there. I'll leave a whole 9 yards. And you guys were stationed at a lot of those places. So
yep.
thank God that you got out when you did.
Well, I can speak for Eric and I, especially Eric. I mean, even from Kuwait to Afghanistan, we definitely had our our they were with the flukes, like rockets.
Yeah, you're full of bullshit. You're full of you're full of crap.
I for sure
mortars.
I for sure thought they were going to hit Kuwait. So I guess once Iran or Iran launched, I guess all the bases, Ali Salim, Bahrain, Arif John, Buring, they all started going. Their sirens started going off. Everybody had to report to their bunkers because they had no idea where they were going to launch at.
Right.
But back in hell, I remember what was it? Even in Camp Buring, what was it? 2020. There was a when I was over there, the alarms went off. That was about I think that had to do with the Houthi rebels. The alarms.
Well, you guys went off. All you guys went to your shit there at the time, but especially now when this happened, they were really going after all that shit. So I'm just glad you guys weren't around. You guys got out in time before it really got hot and heavier. But anyway,
all I know is those bunkers would not have saved anyone.
Yeah, right. Yeah, shoe boxes.
That's what it was.
Like fucking Qatar, like you were saying, Eric. Those guys finally had they had the chance to do their jobs and set off the Patriot missiles and all of those systems to knock that shit out.
It was pretty cool to see the videos. I was actually happy for them because they're just the excitement that they had, and I was just like, being soldiers, war, and you know what, they actually had to do their job and they were successful.
Yeah, well, the thing about war, it's a sad part, is that you have to train. You have to train for it, and you hope you never have to use it. But if you do, you're definitely trained. So that's for sure. We don't. This country doesn't screw around when it comes to that stuff. I mean, they're good at what they do when they do it. So that's the thankful part. And a lot of people out there don't really realize just how involved everything is and how detailed and that the training is and how the people are when it comes to do what they got to do. They're good at what they do. So they should be thankful for that because
Yep.
you put your ass on a line. So anyway, so what
Absolutely.
else? So anyway, now I
the
think they're going to be doing a ceasefire 60-day deal with Israel. Trump's getting together with him, and I don't know what's
Okay.
going on with the other side. Have you guys heard anything? What's going on with Iran?
Yeah, they keep on
Negative.
saying, they signed an
Oh, yeah?
agreement to no cooperation with the IAEA. Was it
Wow.
the International Atomic Energy
Yeah.
Agency or something like that with
Oh,
the UN? And they actually did a was it a fatwa on Trump? I want to say it's a fatwa where it's like a death threat.
yeah, it's a hitman. Yeah.
Yeah, and they
But
they announced that.
I also heard that I
Fuck
caught the tail.
Iran.
I caught the tail end of this either yesterday or earlier that they're talking to friggin' Russia now about shit, getting stuff. I don't know.
Yeah, but
Iran and
even
Russia.
they've already been taught because Russia's been talking on both ends. On one hand, Russia and China have been talking about delivering more ballistic missiles to Iran,
Yeah, get
but
the
on the
fuck
other
out of
hand,
here.
the Medvedev, the former president of Russia, now he's like the deputy minister or something. He was talking smack, but even like they talk about on the other hand, Putin, Russia, China, even they don't want Iran having a
Yeah,
nuclear weapon
but listen,
system because they're
even
just
even if they got him, do they have any way to shoot him now? I
now
think everything was destroyed, right?
Israel also blew up a lot of their launching
Yeah,
capabilities
what are they going to
too.
use? Slingshots?
Only thing I could
Yeah.
think of would be like a dirty bomb. That's
Yeah,
the
yeah,
only way I think
like in
it's.
Vietnam, they used to have lob bombs. They lob them into
Lob
the camp.
bombs.
They lob. They lob them
Uh,
into the camp.
oh wow.
Yeah, that pretty much. You know what? It's
Uh,
well, that Medvedev, he came out. I remember when that story broke when he said that they were talking about arming Iran, and then he came out the next day and said, "Hey, you know what? That's not what we're doing. We're
Yeah,
just talking."
because yeah,
Because
yeah,
Trump
because
said Trump actually called them out on True Social about it.
oh yeah, because fucking Putin, Xi, they don't want Iran having a fucking
we heard you trying to
nuclear
help
a nuclear
Iran. We
a
heard you trying to
nuclear
help
weapon
Iran. We
system.
don't like it. We don't like it.
And you know what?
Gee.
Well, you know what? Putin just needs to shut up and just worry about himself and worry about
Really?
Ukraine. Just
Yeah.
business. And
Really?
what's crazy today? I heard that North Korea is sending an additional 30,000 troops to Ukraine.
I heard about that. Yeah, I heard about
Cripe.
that.
Yeah, and this is kind of crazy because that's the first time that North Korea, what is it, since the war has been
Another
active.
nut.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, absolutely. This is the first time they've been actually active in any kind of war zone that going around fighting. And then I heard, during the war, the 12-day war, that's what they're calling it. They were
What?
saying that Russia is trying to recruit Taliban over
Oh
to.
yeah. Oh, I didn't
Oh,
hear that.
Christ.
Yeah, and that just blew me away. I was like, huh, well, that's kind of interesting. And
You
during
think,
that war,
yeah.
the Taliban condemned
Well, at least,
Iran.
someone's getting blown.
You would think everybody would just give it up and stop this crap and live in peace, man. God, move on.
Yeah, it's not going to
Jeez,
happen.
it's amazing. Amazing. You know
We
damn
got
well
people.
Putin
We got
Putin is not going to give up none of that
we got
land
people.
that he got. He ain't going
We
to
got
do it.
we got people over here rioting, burning shit down, and
Yeah,
looting.
really. That's
Fucking
another nightmare. Yeah, right.
in Los Angeles.
Yeah,
We,
yeah.
we got our own fucking problems here with shit too.
Oh,
But what you call it? Oh, and then
have a lot going on.
Well,
but
you got
yeah,
that. How about? Okay, go ahead. Go ahead.
well, I was gonna bring up the I know it's a bit late, a bit belated, but the big Army birthday, the 250th anniversary on June
Yeah,
14th, Flag Day, the big parade that they did.
I
right.
loved
That
it.
was
It
nice.
was
Yeah,
awesome. It was
yeah.
great.
That was nice. They did a
It
good
That was
job.
fuck.
it made
That
me
was
proud.
wild. Oh, it was a lot of a spirit decor. Like I thought it was really cool. It was like seeing the drones, the fucking robo dogs, and the fucking that tank that was with them. That was a drone tank that was with
Yeah,
them.
Yeah.
That was fucking wild, man.
yeah.
I did one of those. I know you were on the flail. I went to training on what was it? An
That's a
unmanned,
yeah.
an unmanned
Oh,
flail.
I heard about that. I seen that. Yeah.
That was pretty interesting. Just I don't understand what. Well, it's crazy because I saw a video from Ukraine, and they're using types of unmanned ATVs or UTVs just kind of to
Oh
transport
wow.
supplies to the front lines now. I was like,
Well,
I kind of
well,
smartened up.
yeah, it was crazy. Like right before the 12-day war, when freaking Ukraine went in there and with a drone and blew up those Russian fucking fighter planes on the tarmac. That was
Yeah,
fucking wild, man.
yeah, that was a nice strike. I'll give them that. It's that's the one thing about Tor and Telegram is
With a
that
drone. With a drone.
oh yeah, hundreds of drones.
A
You know,
fucking yeah.
Telegram is where you go to see the war right now. Yeah, I mean,
Oh
there's so
yeah.
much. Oh yeah, there's so many Ukrainian channels, and then there's the Russian get nonstop war fucking videos, and this all up to date. It's insane. It's
Wow.
Well, they're gonna have a big parade for 4th of July too.
They're gonna be badass.
Yeah, another
are
one,
they?
4th of July. Yeah, they are. They
Two,
already said it.
250 years to the Union. Fuck yeah.
That'd be nice. That was the one thing about the parade that I thought was pretty damn awesome was the reenlistment and the enlistment that
Oh
Trump
yeah,
did.
yeah.
That was pretty
Yeah,
cool.
that was good. Yeah, yeah, they're getting a lot of people joining the military now.
I think then he also I think he didn't he also commission a set of officers too.
Yes, yes,
Mm.
yeah, he did.
Yes,
Anyway, the
yes.
other the other stuff that's going on besides all that, if you don't like this country, just get the hell out. You got this freaking clown going for mayor in New York. He's no damn good. He's a socialist, communist piece of crap. Why don't they just get rid of these freaking people, man? I'm telling you, what a freaking mess.
Yeah.
You know?
Well,
What a
Trump already
mess.
said it. Trump said it. If you're gonna treat New York as a sanctuary city, and we're going to arrest you too.
That's it.
It's and like their logic is because some people have either actively tried to or have gave up their citizenship and have moved, but
Yeah.
there's a lot more people though that instead of I mean that
Yeah, they talk shit, but they don't
they
leave.
hate they hate America
But they don't
and
leave.
what they want to do is they basically want to
Change it.
essentially well not just change but like essentially just like a reset. They want to basically tear our establishments and institutions down, the Constitution and etc., and then rebuild it in their image,
Yeah, communism.
essentially.
Yeah, idiots.
Yeah,
Idiots.
Good.
pretty much.
You know what? Let the citizens be the vigilantes. Good. You know what? They don't want that. They do not want the system to collapse. If they do, it's going to
No,
be a bad day.
not with 39 million guns out there, they don't.
Hell no. They call it the Great Reset.
Yeah.
I think that
Right.
Glenn
Why don't
Beck
they
called
just reset out of here? That'll be good.
Yeah,
Just
they
get out
want
of here.
like as opposed to it's
I don't even know that
they
clown's name.
instead of
Mahoney. What the hell's his name?
instead of
Mahoney? The guy from New York. What the hell's his name? Mahoney?
Madami and all these stupid assholes on TikTok are doing fucking
but
dances for him and
like but yeah,
stupid.
there's a lot more people. It seems like that hate America and hate the institutions, as opposed to just moving to a place to a country that lines up with their values. Like Eric was saying, they would prefer to do the Great Reset and essentially create a new America in their fucked up
Yeah, well, their image is screwed up because
worldview,
you know what?
worldview and image.
This is all common sense. You look at what's good and what's bad. There ain't nothing to it. You want to pay high taxes? This clown in New York, he wants to get rid of the prisons, get rid of the police, right? He wants to have stores ran by the government, food stores,
Yep. So
build housing that the government owns. It's communism. It ain't going to
this,
work. What's this clown? And you got these idiots that are following him or
The
they're in
so
there roaring
the
for him.
so
Are they
the
that
so
dumb? Are they
the
that
so
dumb?
the Soviets had fucking government food stores,
Ridiculous.
and the food lines were insane.
Yeah, it never works. I just can't understand the people that go out there with him at the rally. Yeah,
Because
yeah. What are these people, stupid or what?
everybody
This is
wants
dumb.
everybody wants free shit. Everybody wants free shit.
They don't want. Yeah, but I'm going to tell you something. The way they're going to get that free shit, when
But it
they
comes
start
with a
getting it, they
cost.
ain't going to want it. Because I'll tell you something. They're going to be so suppressed. They're not going to be able to walk down
Everybody,
the street. They're not going to be able
every
to go across the
everybody,
state. They ain't going to like that their
e-
freedom's taken away. Because they aren't talking about that. That's all they're
everybody,
talking about, taking your
every
freedom
every
away.
everybody wants free shit, but it comes at a cost.
Yeah, well, there ain't nothing for nothing. You know that, and I know it. In the end,
Exactly. There's
you're going to get it stuck
consequences.
up your ass. It ain't never going to work. That guy shouldn't even get in. In fact, I don't think he's going to last that long anyway.
I don't think
Can't
so
be
either.
that many people.
I
Yeah,
think the
he's done.
Democrats. I don't think the Democrats endorse
No,
him.
they ain't backing him.
I think Hakeem Jeffries already. He's like, I haven't chosen to endorse him yet. It's like, well, because you don't want that piece of shit in there because he's a fucking communist.
Well, who
Yeah.
do they got? They got to pick from. They got the Mayor Adams. They got the guy that's already in. They got what? Cuomo,
Curtis,
and then
Curtis,
well,
Swallow,
I'm talking about the on the
guardian
Democrat
angel.
side. The guardian, he's running as a Republican. I'm
I
talking
know,
about
I
for the
know.
Democrats. It's
Right.
Cuomo, the Muslim guy, and then Adams.
Yeah, Adams, the black guy. Well, he was an idiot before, and now all of a sudden he's coming around. But he's
That's
still no
because
good. He ain't no good.
the
But I'd rather
he
have
had
him than have the communists.
I'll take Eric Adams as well.
Yeah, me too.
Eric Adams had to come to his senses because the illegals that they put up in houses.
Yeah, they destroyed them.
It was bankrupting.
Yeah, they
it was
were
causing
bleeding
a lot of problems. Fucking throwing out food, attacks on police and people. It was fucking insane.
I mean, we ain't got much of a choice, but I'd rather have him.
Until he got his head out of his ass, and he's like,
I don't want Cuomo.
Well,
Cuomo's an idiot.
He's a pervert. Cuomo's
an
a fucking
asshole.
pervert.
He's an asshole.
And he let a bunch of elderly people die during COVID.
Right.
But fucking
But I really like to see Curtis get in. Curtis Swila, the guardian angel. But that'll probably never happen, I guess.
I don't think
because it's
so.
New York's Democratic, right?
Yeah.
Yes, hugely. New York City in particular.
Because, boy, he would clean it up. I'll tell you, he would clean it up. If he could get in. But I don't know if it'll happen.
Yeah, I like him. I like every time I remember him as a child.
I remember him in the 70s. Oh, yeah. I mean, he's been around a long time.
Guardian Angels are badass. They cleaned up the mean streets of New York, man, with fucking berets and billy clubs.
They're all
vigilantes beating the fuck out of those fuckers.
They were all karate trained. They were all like new karate.
Yeah.
At the time when they first started, I remember it when it came out. They've been around a long time.
Oh yeah. They saved people. They protected the communities. But
so hopefully this bill gets passed, but I don't know. Don't look too good right now.
I'm just a bill down on Capitol.
Oh, there's another big win. Trump got the damn Supreme Court to say that no, he can deport whoever the hell he wants. And them stupid district court judges, they ain't got no power. And on top of that, there's another one right now that's trying to stop some shit. He ain't listening to the Supreme Court. So I don't know what the hell's going to happen to that. I don't know.
He should be arrested.
Yeah, really. You should kick him off the damn bench.
Yeah.
They have judicial power, not presidential power. They're not the president. And I'm glad they sided for them. At least they come around.
Yeah, because there's that whole argument of due process. But even Trump brought up fucking weeks ago. He said the issue is with all of these illegals. If there was 100% fully vetted due process for each and every one of those illegals, it would back up the fucking courts, and it would take years to get rid of these fucking people. It's insane.
I know they did. That's why they were doing it. They're doing it on purpose.
It's a mess.
They were doing it on purpose. Yeah, well, it backfired on them.
Regardless of how you feel, the whole thing is just a fucking mess.
Yeah, but it backfired on them. The Supreme Court judge voted against them, so they're done.
Interesting.
Yeah. Well, we'll see what happens anyway. So it's just going to go on and on. But
So are they closed for the
he's got a
night?
good team.
Are they done for the
I don't know. Like I told
change
you,
their
I was
boats?
watching it. Hardly anybody's in there. You got to remember, it's 4th of July coming up. These clowns ain't sticking around. They're going to take off.
Yeah,
You know?
see, they're all sitting there right now.
Yeah,
Like I'm
what is
watching
it?
some guy walk around.
So right now, 10:30. So
What about
1:30,
C-SPAN?
12:31.
Who's
Yeah,
got?
it's almost 1:30 in the morning over there. So they ain't gonna be around.
Yeah, if you go to live.house.gov, you can see it all. It's all live right now.
You can just go to fucking C-SPAN.
I'm
Yeah.
watching it on Fox. The damn place is like a ghost town.
Oh wow.
But they just had some woman talking now, so I don't know. They ain't around. They're talking about that Cobra idiot, the jerk off that killed those friggin' kids there at the college. You know, he pleaded guilty, so he'd get a plea deal, so they wouldn't put him to death, which is bullshit.
So they're still in the house right now. I guess they have to until they I don't know what it is, but he's still waiting. Not the
Yeah, he's going to keep it
but-
open. Yeah, he's going to keep it open. He said he was. He's going to keep it open until it gets done what has to get done. And he can do that. He can do it.